All right, what I'm doing here is photographing and taping this basket so that we can figure out another supplier, since the original supplier doesn't want to make it any longer. But I wanted to show what the basket is used for. These are sample boards that are used in our business. They are 30.5 centimeters, 305 millimeters long. Why don't you take that? Yeah, just get detailed pictures. They're 305 millimeters long by 305 millimeters in size. So they need to fit in the bottom of the basket. This basket clears 10.5 inches, or about 310 or 15 millimeters, about 315 millimeters inside. It's also very important that it's sturdy because these are heavy. This weighs, each of these boards weighs 7 pounds, so we'll put over 100 pounds worth of weight in here. So it's important that it doesn't rock back and forth. This basket has been made with a frame that we've deconstructed. The important features about this frame and the manufacturing are that the gauge of the steel is somewhat over 4 millimeters. This piece is actually somewhat over 3 millimeters. The steel has been welded in each corner. Welded in each corner. An additional piece of steel is made through the center of the basket. There is a completely welded, rounded handle, and this stud is welded in place to accept the pole. The steel has been painted black, and it has been wrapped in cellophane tape, in plastic tape. You can see examples of the plastic tape here. This is the plastic tape. I assume the plastic tape is used to keep it from rusting while it's being manufactured or while it's being stored. I think it's also important to note that the structural pieces have been wrapped in place carefully, and the entire frame is made with strengthened pieces. So these pieces now become an integral part of the frame and prevent it from rocking too much. So it's very important that these pieces are wrapped and tied in place here. It's also, I think, important that a good tight wrap was made here, and that these pieces have been wrapped carefully, and that these have been glued. These are glued down so that they stay fairly solidly in place. So each of these are made, the entire system is wrapped, and then the final weaving is made. You can see the final weaving. You can see how tightly wrapped the weaving is. It's very well done. So this is a well-made basket that provides good structural strength, is nice and light, and is large enough inside. This dimension at the bottom must be 315 millimeters free, so that these boards, which are 305 millimeters, are able to move. I'm going to take a second and check all the dimensions. I've made a dimensional sheet here describing the wire frame and describing the inside and outside dimensions of the basket. This is the inside at the bottom, the inside at the top. This is the outside dimensions of the basket when it's finished. I'm going to confirm these now. The outside dimensions of the basket. It stands 200 millimeters tall. At the top on the outside, it is 450 millimeters in size. At the bottom on the outside, it is 420 millimeters in size. That's these three dimensions. Each pole is solid and is 20 millimeters or so in height. The outside dimensions on this face are 370 millimeters, as is the pole, 370 millimeters. The bottom is 330 millimeters. If we look at the inside dimensions, again we've confirmed 315 millimeters in this dimension, and it is 400 millimeters in this dimension. The top dimensions are 350 inside at the top, and are on the inside at the top are 430 millimeters at the top. Next, I'd like to confirm the size of the steel frame. Again, the steel frame is welded at important points. It's been painted black. It's been wrapped with cellophane tape. It includes a handle and a post for the pole, and it includes an additional strip that runs all the way around the hemisphere of the basket to increase its stiffness. Each of these boxes increases the stiffness of the overall piece. To confirm the dimensions of it, the height in this dimension from the outside to the outside is 195 millimeters. The top dimension from the outside to the outside is 440 millimeters. The bottom dimension of the wire frame is 415 millimeters. This dimension at the bottom is 330 millimeters. Again, the height of the basket is 195 millimeters. However, along this edge, it's a total of 197 millimeters. 195 high, 197 in length. On the end, I'm going to confirm that the outside to outside dimension of the top is 365 millimeters, and the bottom we've already established is 330 millimeters. We're going to measure the size of the handle. The handle is straight. It is from outside to outside 73 millimeters in height. I'm sorry, make that 74 millimeters in height. And from side to side is 118 millimeters in width. The post is in the middle and it measures 15 millimeters high. Again, noting the detail of the wrapping of the structural pieces, the tying it together into a single frame, and the further weaving of it being very strong. The pole is attached with a little glue, and these pieces are glued and made into the structure of the basket. and that it holds up extremely well with heavy weight in the basket. Thanks.